Don't get me started on Catholicism, but I will tell you this. James's funeral was in a Catholic church in North Sydney.
Oh.
Now, I'm always asked to play the organ because I'm the piano player. And in a way, I'm kind of happy to do it because it gives me something to do and it means I'm up in the organ loft, and if I go to pieces, I can go to pieces, and I know I can go to pieces and still play a tune, so that's good too. So, funeral. A couple of days later, and the people at the church represented specific demographics. On the one hand, you have all of James's friends and people from the fundraising who, very pro-gay, whatever, He had a fabulous life and this was a terrible disease. It's got nothing to do with retribution. Then you have all of the Catholics. Like family friends of theirs, some of them painfully fundamentalist, like this woman. This North Shore matron who sort of led the singing in this really unpleasant, strident high soprano, belting out all these hideous Catholic hymns like,
"Praise my soul, the King of heaven, to his feet your tribute bring, ransomed, healed, restored, forgiven, evermore his praises sing. Alleluia, alleluia, praise the everlasting King."
Anyway, the point I'm leading up to is that evidently no one had arranged anybody appropriate to do a eulogy. So the Catholic priest did the eulogy. And the eulogy was all about how through his life this young man had been confused and led astray and down evil paths, and that he was being punished for this. But in the last stretch of his life, because he'd done the fundraising and because basically he couldn't have sex anymore, he had found the path to righteousness.
Faithfulness. Angels help us to adore him. You behold him face to face. Sun and moon bow down before him. Dwellers all in time and space.
We're all just sort of scratching the pulpits going, "Kill the priest!" And of course nobody did. And I was up in the organ thing and it was awful. It was awful. We were so angry, I can't begin to tell you.
Alleluia, praise with us the God of grace.
And then we went to the wake, and the wake was wonderful. The wake was at his parents' place, and everybody was saying,
Wasn't that priest an absolute arsehole?
And I was in total agreement. We had a really fabulous party, and in a way, his life was sort of celebrated. And, thankfully, the majority of people there knew to disregard the unfortunate circumstances of the eulogy.
It really affected you. When your friends were sick, it encroached upon you. But you went to the funerals, lots of funerals, and then you tried to forget about it. Life went on.
It just became completely numbing.
It got to the stage when people were first dying, you'd go to every funeral, how little or how much you knew someone. By the end, or towards the end of the 80s or the beginning of the 90s, I suppose there were less funerals then. It became a little bit like, I went to see them in hospital. I don't need another funeral. Horrible, I know, but sort of a protective thing that you did for yourself.
I remember sitting at a funeral once thinking, I can't cry anymore. I just can't cry.